Good afternoon, students. Today
Good
that
afternoon, sir.
Lord's Institute of Management provides you the golden opportunity to ask questions during the sessions of Mr. Samitabh Jana. He has alumnus of IIBM Patna and carries more than 2 decades of experience in the hospitality industries. He has worked with major brands like Taj Group, APG Group, Mars, and Fun Hotel and Resort. In his last assignment, he was responsible for project and pre-opening of 12 hotels under the umbrella of Fun Hotels and Resort. Apart from hotel operations, his expertise lies with special strength in revenue management, digital marketing, with human resource and human relations and personal skill development. He has played a very important role with Lord's Hotel and Resorts in the capacity of a Associate Vice President Operations. Today webinar is student interactive sessions on hospitality industries. Good afternoon, sirs. Sir, now you can start, you can proceed.
Okay, how many? I can see around say 41 participants. Anybody
Yes,
yet to join, or shall we start?
You can start for that. 4 to 5 students will be maybe that will be joined for that. Every last 2 to 3 webinars that the total strength is 45 to 48. But
Okay,
like
fine.
6 to 7 students is not available right now. You can start, sir. Time is over, like 12 sevens. Will be better.
Okay. Okay. Good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
Yeah.
sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
sir.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning, everybody. Yeah. Mr. Chaudhary has given my instruction, and as you know, this is an interactive session. So I would request, each one of you, if you have any questions, you can ask the question. And before asking a question, you just introduce yourself. I mean, what's your name and what is the department that you have chosen for your studies if it is a certificate course, and if it's a degree course, you can say it's a degree course. That means I will understand that it covers all the subjects. So anyone have any questions first?
Student, raise your hands. The students raise your hands that student starts. Dhruv
Yes,
Chauhan.
Dhruv. Yeah, Dhruv Chauhan.
Yes,
What's
sir.
your
Good
question?
afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Tell me.
So I am from. So I have taken my admission in certificate course in a front office department.
Okay. What's your question?
So my particular question is, of course, in a front office. So I have to just know. So what are the major effects that front office do in other department to improvise and to motivate other when they are lack of you can say a misunderstanding and other stuff?
See, I think you are asking a question to avoid misunderstanding. How should front office department coordinate with other departments? Correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, as you grow in the industry, I mean, right now you are studying, but when you are on job or on training, and especially on job, not on training, you will not understand on training, but on job, you need to take certain precautions. Now, this is a vast topic. I won't cover much, but to be precise, I will say that suppose you want to take a check-in of a guest, you can see in your software that the particular room is vacant. But in that vacant room, to avoid any kind of miscommunication, it is always better that the manager, whosoever, it's a duty manager or a lobby manager or a front office manager, checks the room, so that when the guest checks in and the front office gives a courtesy call, how is your stay or how is your room? He says it is absolutely fantastic and no issues on that. But to do that, you have to make sure that the room is being checked. There might be some error from a housekeeping point of view, or maybe, you know, from engineering point of view, maybe hot water is not working, maybe TV is not working, maybe the Wi-Fi is not working, maybe the AC is not working properly. To double check and make sure, anybody from front office should make sure that the room is perfect. So you know that when you're asking a question, sir, how is your stay or how is the room? You know the answer, he will say it is absolutely fantastic.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next.
And, sir, I have another question regarding for my industrial training.
Yes.
So what are the things that a industrial training must do? Of course, we have to learn all the things that another property is going to teach us. But what are the things that industrial training in front office must do to increase his growth?
See, there are a couple of points which you need to keep, make it a point and you must do it, whether a senior tells it or not. First thing is that you must check the different categories of rooms in the hotel. There may be 3 categories, 4 categories of, of rooms. You must check each and every room, of different category. And you must understand what is the difference between each category. So whether it is only the size, or whether it is the difference in interior, or there is a difference in amenities, or what is the difference? Because in each category, you would be charging different tariff. So first of all, you must understand, and this is a general part which an industrial training, usually misses. Usually a front office, industrial training front office, they learn about the check-in, check-out, the software system, but physically they don't go to the room and check and find out what is the difference between each category of rooms, or what is the size of the room, or what is the size of the bathroom. You got my point? Understood my point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Next.
Next student, raise your hands. Sapna sir, you ask question. Next question. Start the next questions. Julpekar Ansari. Yes.
First of all, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
I'm Zulfikar Ansari.
Yes, Zulfikar.
I'm doing BSc in hospitality.
Okay.
My question is, how can I prepare for MT, management training?
See, there are precisely 2 things for a management training. One is your vocabulary. That is the theoretical part which you can gain through the books. And the second thing is about your presence of mind, which is not written in the books. When you go for an industrial training, obviously you will cover all the departments. Now, when a company wants to hire a person as a management trainee, they actually are looking forward that these are the people after a training of say around 18 months, they will be straight away assistant managers. Now, when I talk about assistant managers or managers, these are the people, apart from the theoretical knowledge, they should have a great presence of mind, because in any kind of situation, you have to handle it with your presence of mind. Now, I will give you one example. When did you join the college? January or?
Yes, sir. In December.
December. So what have you studied when it comes to, wines or liquor or spirits? Have you studied anything on that?
No, sir.
Okay. Now you understand what is a spirit? I'll tell you. Okay, briefly I'll tell you. Spirit means like, whiskey, vodka, rum. These are called as the spirits.
Okay.
Now, when a person in your theoretical books, it will be explained how whiskey is made. Okay. in which part of the world is the best whiskey is made, and all the description of whiskey. Got it? Hello,
Yes, sir.
are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So these are the theoretical things that will be written in a book. But suppose a person, after having 4 or 5 drinks, he is not under control. What has to be done with that particular person? It is not written in the books. It is the physical presence of mind, how you have to handle that person. You got my point?
Yes, sir. We have to stop.
No, whatever you have to do, that is a different issue. But what I'm trying to say, that is not written in the books.
Yes, sir.
So there are 2 aspects to become a management trainee. One is your physical, your presence of mind, and the second is your theoretical knowledge.
Okay, sir.
And when you want to be a management trainee, which department is your focus?
In front office.
Okay, fair enough. So you got the answer, what I said?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next.
Next students. Student, raise your hands. Yes, shine. On your microphone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
So myself, Shine Alex. I'm pursuing BSc in Hospitality Management.
Yeah.
Sir, my question is, so will doing MBA after BSc will boost my chance of becoming a manager?
No, not exactly. After completing your degree, you can always join as a management trainee. And how to become a management trainee, I think I just answered the question. When you become a manager, from there on, if you pursue a MBA degree, it can help you. That particular degree is only to, enhance or flourish your theoretical skills, not the administrative skills. Please remember, you can have as much as degree you want, but it is only through your physical experience and hands-on experience and presence of mind which will give you more and more promotion. When senior managers in the company, the management always looks forward for those kind of people who has better administrative skills. And when I say about the skills, it doesn't come out from the theoretical knowledge. You have to practically have an experience of the industry.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next.
Thank you, sir. There was another question for next students next. Raise your hands.
I think there is Zulfikar wants to ask a question.
Yes, Zulfikar.
No, sir.
Any other students?
Yes, Sachin.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. This is Sachin Desai. I'm pursuing a food production certificate course right now.
Okay.
So I want to ask that how would you evaluate the employee performance?
Okay, can you elaborate your question? Evaluate employee performance is a very vast subject. We consider too many things when I evaluate a particular employee. It starts with the attendance. Then it comes to performance at work. When I say performance at work, it means at different levels, irrespective, what designation you have, but that is a performance. Then your attitude towards the work. Then your skills of coordination with other departments and coordination with departmental employees, and then coordination with the management. And if you are in the public area, that means if you are an interactive chef, then what are your skills when you interact with a particular guest, and how do you solve the guest problems? All these things are considered when we evaluate an employee. If you
Okay,
have
sir.
not
Thank you.
understood, you can ask any
No,
particular.
sir. Yes, sir. I can understand everything you said.
Okay.
Thank you, Sachin. You ask anything for any other questions? Okay, Sachin, thank you. Thank you, sir. Students, you can ask anybody. Raise your hand. This is a very quickly. Once the finished, and you will be raise your hand immediately. It will be that consume the time. Sir will be busy their sessions. Yes, Sachin again.
So I
Sachin,
have another question.
Yeah.
So as per your experience, how would you encourage trust and loyalty in your guests? Like as a hotelier, what can we do about that?
See, as far as trust and loyalty of the guest you are asking.
Yes, sir.
See, this trust level or loyalty of the guest, these are two different things. When it comes to loyalty, loyalty means we know a guest coming for years and we know what are the likes, dislikes. When you say trust, I exactly didn't understand what do you mean by trust of the guest? What actually you want to know?
So like it's a new or first time the guest comes, and we have to gain that trust that you can live very safely in our hotel like that.
Okay, understood. So you meant to say on behalf of the hotel, how do we gain trust of the guest? Or I mean, the guest should trust the particular hotel that it is
Yes,
safe or
sir.
something.
Yes, sir.
That's your question. See, this basically starts on the first call. For example, the guest has called up the hotel for making a reservation. His trust level starts from there, from the first call. How is the employee who is in the front office or reservation handling that particular guest? What are the information the guest is asking and what are the information the staff or the employee is delivering? For example, if the guest asks, okay. Suppose the guest asks how many categories of rooms do you have and what are the different kind of tariff? And the employees answer the question. And then the guest asks that what kind of discount can you offer to us? If the employee is not able to answer the question and the employee says, sir, these are the best rates and I will check with my manager and I will get back to you. Then the guest will think that the person handling the reservation is not aware of what he is talking. He doesn't want to give a discount. So he may drop the call and he may book some other hotel. If the employee says, sir, these are the rates, that is the published tariff, and this is the rate of the day, which we call it as a bar rate in our industry, as a bar rate. That means best available rate of the day. If the employee answers in this particular manner, so obviously the guest says, yes, the hotel is good, employees are good, they are prompt, giving the right answers. We should, rest of the experience, he can always have an experience after he checks in the hotel. But on a telephone call, he makes an impression that, yes, this is a good hotel. And apart from the tariff, any other information he asked, for example, now it's a COVID era, what are the precautions that the hotel has taken so that, COVID infection is not spread? And what kind of things do you do? Do you practice? What about the meals? Do you set up a buffet or do you, serve the meals individually in the rooms? All these questions on a telephone, if the employee can answer. So obviously there is a trust. That is the first part before the guest checks in. The second part starts when the guest actually checks in. What has been, has been told to him on the phone, are they actually happening or not? Is it a fact or is it not? So when he experiences that and he finds that everything is fine, So obviously his trust level, goes high and he becomes a loyal guest. Sachin, is it
Okay,
clear?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I
Thank
think
you,
so.
Sachin. Another question from Swati Mohan. Swati Mohan, you can ask.
Good afternoon, sir. Myself, Swati Mohan. I am pursuing in food production and F&B service by Principal Sir and Akshat Alikar sir. My first question is the sir, what are the major challenges in facing industrial training?
What are the major challenges in
Facing industrial training.
facing industrial training means?
मतलब सर एज ए मैं गर्ल्स के हिसाब से ही बोल रही हूँ
Okay.
मतलब हाँ
I mean, you want to know the safety point of view being a girl.
यस सर और टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन समथिंग
See, as such, there is no terms and conditions. And usually, if you are going out of the city or out of the state, all the hotels, they provide an accommodation. There is a ladies accommodation separately. But one general rule is that the girls are not allowed to walk, post 10 p.m. in the hotel. And even if they are doing a 10 p.m. shift, that is 1 to 10 p.m. shift, the hotel has to arrange a drop to the particular, wherever the accommodation is. And rest of the in the day, I mean, the day shift or the afternoon shift, as such, there is no problem in safety and security of any hotel, especially in the star category of hotels of 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. And rest is up to you, how you carry an attitude and you see serious about your job and all these things matters. Swati, am I clear or you want to know something else?
Yes, sir. And my second question is, the sir, what is the most important skill to have in the hospitality industry?
Attitude. It all depends on attitude, whichever department you are working in and whatever position you are working in. If you want to grow in life and become successful hotelier, it all depends on your attitude, how you, whatever your bosses are saying or whatever your seniors are saying, how you take it, how you react to it, how do you implement it, whether you take it in a positive manner or you take it in a negative manner. Because always remember when I say about attitude is a thing, it actually means how you take things. Now, suppose somebody is criticizing you. How are you able to take that critic, improve it, and then go ahead? That is the most important thing, because when you enter the industry, and even after working for 30 years in the industry, nobody is perfect. No human being is perfect. So if somebody points out that this is a critic, or this is what you have to do, or this is what you need to improve, so you must always take it in a very positive manner so that you can work on it and then improve it. That's how success comes. And that is what I mean by attitude.
Okay, sir.
Sir, Mr. Umar Teli has a questions.
Yeah.
Mr. Umar, you can proceed.
Good afternoon, sir. I am pursuing right now food production principles. Would you please share your journey, share your vast journey in this hospitality industry?
See, as far as I am concerned, I have done my degree course, completed my degree course, in fact, 1994. And my journey starts from Taj Hotel. And thereafter, as Mr. Chaudhary introduced, I have been into different groups. But initially, I started from F&B service department. And thereafter, there has been growth in my career in terms of promotions and things like that. And finally, today, I am where I am. And in a nutshell, as I just spoke to Swati, the key to success in any industry, not only in this hotel industry, but in any industry you work, it is attitude. If you can accept the critic, they say in Hindi, critic is basically, ek aina dikhata hai. You may not be knowing what is bad in you or what is good in you. Encouragement always tells you, okay, whatever good in you. But a critic, you should always thankful to your critic that, he or she has said, okay, these are your points to improve and this is not you are good at. Usually we are getting, get very depressed or sometimes very angry. Somebody has made a critic on us. It should not be so. You should take it in a very positive manner if somebody points out, because maybe I don't know about something bad which I am having a bad quality, and if somebody points out, if I take it in a positive manner and I work on it, so obviously it will be a success for me, not for the critic. So you should always, even if you don't speak vocally, but deep in the heart, you should always thank a critic that they are pointing out, and those pointers you need to improve on and go on the, you rise on the success path. So the critic will always remain a critic, but the person whom the critic has pointed, he always takes a ladder and goes up the success level.
Thank you so much, sir. I will always implement it for your advice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sir, thank you, sir. Again, Mr. Devang also asked one question.
Yeah, Devang.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. What's your question?
My name is Young Patel. I am currently pursuing for production principles and management of food and beverage operations. Sir, basically my question is just regarding to get some kind of knowledge, like basically when we talk about chain hotels, like it is very hard to implement something new, like some kind of new technology comes in or we have to implement something new. It is basically there are a lot of challenges to face, like regarding like if there are like some 18 or 20 hotels for chain properties for a hotel, then it is basically hard to implement. It takes long time. So can you enlighten us how what are the challenges that that we face while we implement something new in chain hotels, and what are the easier ways to overcome it, or what are the easier ways to implement something new in chain properties?
Actually, I didn't get your question. You spoke too long. What I understood, in a chain hotel, there are challenges to implement a change. That's what you are meaning?
So basically, like if something new comes out, like some new technology, or if you have to, like, for example, let me go back to the past, and there are like some, there were like credit cards, debit cards, and ATM, this online cash thing. This all comes, and we implement, the hotel started like revolution. They started implement this technologies into their hotels. So I'm just saying, like, if some new technology comes in future and hotel has to implement it, so how long time it will take, and what are the factors that you would consider while implementing that?
Okay. Whether it is a standalone hotel or it's a chain hotel, whenever a new technology has come and the new technology has to be implemented in a hotel, the first thing that a management considers is what are the financials. That means how much money to be invested. Are we going to able to afford that kind of money, or is it free of cost, or is it a moderate cost? So the cost factor comes into the picture first. To make it simpler, I will give you an example. For example, in your family, without knowing any family background, I'm just giving an example. If not your family, maybe any family. Okay. So that is a, with the latest technology, an iPhone has come. Now, whether to buy that iPhone or not, the first thing comes to the mind whether we can afford it or not. You got my point?
Yes.
Similarly, the management also thinks that whether we can afford that particular technology or not. That's the first thing they need to decide. The second thing to decide that if we invest that particular money, what are the benefits are we getting in return? Is it something we are going to get? Suppose if I take a hotel as a, totally as a one subject, and we implement a new technology, is it possible that more number of guests are coming? Is it related to business, or is it related to the facilities of a guest, or is it just a luxury item, or is it becoming a necessity thing? So any technology coming in is not necessarily applicable to all. There are some basic technology which is applicable to all. Now, for example, I'll give you, for example, Wi-Fi. Now, Wi-Fi is a necessity which has to be there in all the hotels. When you have Wi-Fi, you have connectivity, and through the internet, you can search anything and everything. So that becomes a necessity. Now, if I want to talk about luxury, there are many TVs which are having a touch screen, and where a bill can also be generated on the TV placed in a room in a hotel. So the management has to decide, depending on the clientele of the hotel, whether such kind of TV is required or not required. To take that decision, management will think, what is the amount a guest is paying? Maybe suppose he is paying 3,000. So after paying 3,000, is it his requirement that he should get the bill seen on the TV, or he can order a room service through his TV? Is it required or is it not required? Whereas a guest paying 40,000 for one night, for that particular guest, is it required or not required? So it totally depends. Any kind of technology or any management decision for anything new to be implemented depends totally on the business projection or the commercials, or in a very simple language, you can say ROI, rate of your investment. Suppose I invest whatever, 1 crore, 1 lakh, 10 crore, what am I getting in return? The decision is totally dependent on that.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Next.
Students, anybody? Raise your hand. Don't waste your time. Don't. Student, raise your hand.
Yes, Sohail.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Francis Sohail. I am pursuing a BSc in Hospitality Management degree course. So my question is, if I am applying for the job for cruise, and if I'm a particular one department I have, so if any reason to do other department work, so what would be benefit for me?
Sohail, you have to repeat your question. What I understood is, suppose you are, after completing your degree course, you are going for a cruise. Then what you said?
Sir, then particular one department I have selected, then after any reason I have doing from other department, what was the benefit for me? And
see, what I understand your question is, if you are going for in a cruise, you will be obviously selected for a particular department. And so your question is basically, why should you read all the subjects or all other subjects when you are interested only for a particular subject? That means if you are interested in cruise, say in F&B service, why should you read about the front office or read about food production or housekeeping? Is that your question?
Sir, yeah, but the question is, if any problem was there, so we have to work another department also in cruise or not?
See, cruise has a different concept altogether from a hotel, although it is a part of the hospitality industry, but then it's a the working style over there is different. Okay, in a cruise, so if maybe you are selected in F&B service in a restaurant, okay, but that does not mean that you will only serve. You have to help in the kitchen also, and you have to help in cleaning the restaurant, the housekeeping also. Whereas in a hotel, it is not so. You got my point, Sohail?
Yes, sir.
So that is the difference in a hotel and cruise. You actually don't have to work in housekeeping department, but you have to do the job of housekeeping inside your premises. That means suppose you are working in a restaurant, so you have to do the cleanliness of a restaurant.
Yes, sir. So
Yes.
one more question. Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, it's an agreement based to work on cruise, time limited or not?
Yeah, it's time limited. Usually they have some crews have 6 months, some crews have 9 months contract. So after 6 months or 9 months contract, usually it is 9 months contract. So you come back and then 3 months, you are on the land. And then again, when the cruise, after 3 months, obviously they will call you and it would be a fresh contract.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sir. Thank you, sir. Mr. Naines, ask your questions. Mr. Naines?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, myself, Naines Kapure. I am pursuing BSc in Hospitality Studies. Sir, my question is how I become a celebrity chef and what can I do for?
How you will become a celebrity chef and?
Sir, what can I do for, sir?
See, to become a celebrity chef, I think first you need to work at least 10 years in the industry. So within 10 years, you need to have a total exposure of the industry, and you need to decide you want to be a celebrity chef of what particular cuisine. Is it an Indian cuisine or international cuisine, or you want to focus something else? So that you need to decide on that. That is the first step towards it after working for 10 years. Because people, if you are a fresher, people will say that he has not worked in the industry and he is giving a lecture on the industry. So you need to work first, prove yourself, and then start becoming a chef, proper chef, and then a celebrity chef. You can't be a celebrity chef who knows everything. I mean, if you know something about the Indian cuisine, now Indian cuisine, you can cover a lot. I gave you an Indian cuisine example because it's a huge subject. You can speak on tandoori items, you can speak of Lucknow cuisine, Hyderabadi cuisine. We have all different states and different regions in India, and each one has a different cuisine. So you can speak a lot about that. Similarly, international cuisine, when you talk about what are you focused at? Whether are you focusing on Chinese cuisine, Japanese cuisine, or Mediterranean cuisine, or Spanish cuisine? What exactly are you specialized at, and what are you speaking about? So those two things should be relevant. Did you understand my point, what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Naines?
Yes, sir.
You over your questions?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sir, Sachin has a question.
Yeah.
Sachin, you ask.
Yes, sir. So, how do you see a manager's role on a team? Like he has to be friendly or be too strict or easygoing. What will be a good manager?
The first thing I would say, a good manager should have a good attitude. When I say good attitude, it means he should be polite, he should be friendly, he should be strict, and it's like everything. Suppose you are cooking a particular dish, you have to, put some spices, you have to put some salt, pepper, basic ingredients. Then only that particular dish would be tasty. So a manager has to play all different roles. Basically, in short, I would say he is like a mentor. Sometimes he needs to be like a friend. Sometimes he needs to be like a boss. When he becomes strict, sometimes he needs to be friendly. Sometimes he needs to be a part of the team. But when I said in the beginning that he should have a proper attitude, that means overall he should lead from the front. He is the captain of the team. So he has to lead from the front. And in the process of the operation, if there is a weak employee or a weak candidate, suppose he or she is not able to deliver a particular thing, the manager should intervene and do the job of that particular person, or teach the particular person that what wrong he or she has done, so that next time he or she doesn't repeat that. That is what I mean from the leading from the front.
Okay, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, Sachin is, you have to understand. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Definitely, sir. Sahil Lotani has a questions. Sahil, on your microphone, you ask a question.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Sir, my name is Sahil Otani, and I am pursuing a degree course.
Yeah.
Sir, my question is there in some hotel there is a 3 months IT training, and in some hotel there is a 6 month IT training. So my question is, what is the difference between a 3 months IT training and 6 month IT training? And sir, which is beneficial for us?
No, it hardly makes a difference whether you do continuously for 6 months or you do, partly in 3 months batch. It totally, it is irrelevant. Once you pass out, whether it's you have done in 2 installments or whether you have done it in one go, that doesn't matter after you pass out. Once you have passed out, you will be asked question at different levels of the interview. What have you learned? There will be no question asked that whether you did a 3 months training and 2 times 3 months training or 6 months training at one go. There is no such question asked in the interview. Interview will be always asked, what is your knowledge? Depending on the position that you are applying for. Am I clear?
So, sir, we should do 3 months training or 6 months?
That depends on your opportunity. It doesn't matter when it comes to your job. It doesn't matter whether you do three months training twice or 6 month training once. It doesn't matter. What usually happens is in a 6 month training, you go to different departments, but in a 3 months training, usually you cover one department or two departments. So whatever is a balanced department, and it also depends now, for example, I think you said you are doing BSc in hotel management. That means you need to cover all the departments. If you need to cover all the departments, suppose in 3 months you have covered 3 departments. So next 3 departments, you should, when you go for the industrial training the next time, you should cover the other 3 departments so that you have a basic knowledge of all the departments.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sir, Umar has a question.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. I had a query about what are the effects of this pandemic's first wave and the second wave. How did the hospital industry tackle it? And what are the chances and how will the hospitality industry grow after this pandemic is over once?
See, what I understood your question is with the pandemic challenges, how did the hotel industry, what are the challenges faced by the industry and how did they cope up and what is the future? That's what you're asking?
Yes, sir. In the first wave and the second wave of the pandemic.
See, both in the first and the second wave, those are the terms used by the pharmaceutical companies and medical practitioners. As far as the hospitality industry is concerned, whether it's the first, second, third, any wave, it has affected the industry the maximum, both in the first and the second wave. When I say it has affected means overall there is no business or hardly any business to survive. A lot of people, they have lost their jobs and some have even lost their lives. And with this second wave on, we are still facing a crunch, and we are trying to overcome the challenges as best as we can. And we hope that within next 2 months or 3 months, these things are over. And even if the international tourism or international tourists they don't come to India, at least the domestic tourism starts. That is, people within India, they can go to different places and there can be marriages or there can be official conferences and all these things, domestically within India, things should start. That's the only way that we are looking ahead. And obviously, certain things we are dependent. For example, this vaccination and other things are dependent. How quickly all the people are vaccinated. So if they are vaccinated, there is a security feeling that yes, we have taken both the doses of the vaccination, and maybe we can go or visit a particular safe hotel, and that's how things will improve. But it will still going to take maybe 3 to 4 months at least.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for putting a light on it. I will remember it always.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Harsh Khatri has a question. Harsh, unmute your microphone.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
My name is Harsh Khatri. I'm pursuing BSc Hospitality degree student. So my question is, what is operational trainees?
What is?
Operational trainees.
Well, operational trainees usually in the hotel industry can be of two kinds, and different organizations have different names for that. Somebody called as job operational trainee, somebody called as operational trainee, somebody called as a management trainee. So there are different levels on which the job trainees are being taken. So basically, there are three types of job trainees. One is at an associate level, one is at a supervisory level, and one is at a managerial level. So these are the three levels which any company recruits. So while you give the interview or you sit for an interview, you need to know that what kind of designation or what kind of trainee are you being selected for. Is it at the level of associate level, supervisory level, or managerial level?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Students, any questions from your sides? Please, Kapadia, you have a questions? Anybody raise your hand? Vatsal. Sir, Vatsal has a questions.
Yeah.
Vatsal, unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, sir. Myself, Vatsal Mandavia. So my question is, after finishing the degree, if I want to do a master's, is necessary to do a JT?
Is it necessary to do a
JT, job training?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Any other questions? Student, raise your hand. Students, anybody? Sir, Krish Kapadia, the chat us that how fast is the hospitality industry growing? This question is.
How fast is hospitality industry going?
Industry is growing. In
Okay.
the chat box.
See, as of now, with the pandemic situation, the hospitality industry is not growing. It is at a halt. But sooner or later, maybe after 3 months or after 6 months, there will be growth in the industry, both at the domestic level and as well as at the international level. But what is the thing, I mean, he or she wants to know in terms of growth? There are different kinds of growth. There are growth in opportunities, there are growth in business, there is growth in, architectural designs. What is he or she looking for exactly when he or she means growth?
Krish, you unmute yourself and you ask questions, sir. maybe them some issue. Uh, Anybody, students, ask any questions to sir? Students? Any of the students? Okay, sir, that you just brief us some general
Okay, I'll just give you a small brief on the industry and about
right. Yes,
yeah,
it will.
students.
Yes.
So let me first tell you, students, when you have joined the industry, it's a great industry. It's you know industry where you have fun, you have sacrifices, you have challenges, and you have great success also. As I said in all the conversation, there is one thing you must remember, and that is attitude. What is your attitude? Are you willing to learn or not willing to learn? Now, this is an industry where you have to learn every single day. You have to learn something. Now, the teacher may be a guest, the teacher may be your senior. The teachers are always different. They may be different people in different roles, but every single day you have to learn. You can't sit with a mental block that I have completed my course and that's enough. That is not enough. Every single day, this industry is growing. When I say growing in terms of technology, growing in terms of business, growing in terms of architecture, design, interiors, way of working, attitude of the employees, the guest needs, everything is growing. So what used to be a luxury 10 years back, it has become a necessity today. And what is a luxury today, it will become a necessity maybe after 7 years or 8 years. So that fast the industry is going. And to cope up with the industry, you need to develop yourself. Develop in terms of technology, because there are a lot of articles and about the hospitality magazines are available in the social media. So you can go through that, and not only of the domestic tourism or about India, but across the world. If you want to know, name a few hospitality magazines and all those things, Mr. Chaudhary can guide you. So all you need to do is Google, go to the Google and go to the particular site, and then you subscribe yourself. Then every week you will start getting a newsletter across the world. So you understand how fast the hospitality is growing and what are the things happening. So that's one part. The second part is about your career. Irrespective, see, everybody is going to get the same degree. Now, all the students who have enrolled in certificate course is going to get the same degree. Everybody who is doing a degree course is going to get the same degree. Now, I think the last person or last but one person, somebody asked, is it necessary to do a job trainee if I complete my degree and go on to the masters? So continuing with that particular thing, irrespective, your basic hotel management degree is very, very important. Beyond that, the master's degree is not very important. It is not like BA and MA, that is Bachelor of Arts and then a Master of Arts. Hotel management is not about that. Usually you will find students who are doing the master's degree who have not done the basic, this BSc degree which you are doing. They must have done, the normal graduation of BA or BCom, and then they have joined the masters. So the study material at this level and at the master's level are more or less the same. Now you will think, so what are the things, if I want to gain more knowledge, what should I do? Now there are two things. Even I don't think if you are choosing a career in the non-operational department, for example, in accounts or finance department or any other department, you can go for MBA. For suppose you are going to make a career in the sales and marketing, you need an MBA. But if you want to stick to the operational departments, after completing your degree course, you should work at least for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. And then there are exams. For example, you get a certificate. You have to, I mean, study for 1 year and then give an exam. So it is called as CHE. CHE is basically Certified Hotel Expert. Now, to apply for those exams, you need to be at least be a general manager for at least 2 years or 3 years. But suppose you are at a level of, say, chef or F&B manager or front office manager. So you can have certified hotel manager course or certified hotel chef course. Now, these are the courses for you. You don't have to go to any classes. You just have to study online and give the exam. You have to pay the examination fees and you have to pass the examination. Now, these are things only available after a certain level of experience. That is, suppose you start your career from an associate level, then you have to go to a supervisor level, then you have to go to an assistant manager level, and then you have to go to a manager level. And this whole period will take at least nothing less than 5 to 7 years. Once you reach that level, then these are the certificate courses or online courses which are very, very important, which you can add with your designation. That, you know, whatever, I can read, suppose one name, Amit Roy. Okay, Amit Roy, BSc Hotel Management, CHE. That means Certified Hotel Expert. So these are the things which can be done at a later stage. But to start off your career, you should, you know, complete your certificate or degree course. And yeah, people who are not interested, I mean, after passing out the certificate course, if you think that I should have a knowledge of all different departments, you can always go for BSc Hospitality course to gain a further knowledge. Please understand, if you want to become a general manager, you should have basic knowledge of all the departments. When I say all the departments, that means you should have knowledge about finance, you should have knowledge about law. There is something called as a hotel law. Hotel operates with different laws. So you need to know the laws also, you know to know about the finance also. Now, these are certain subjects which are not operational subjects, but to become a successful general manager, you need to know this. That's all from my side. Anything, Mr. Chaudhary, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Your words definitely helped us to strengthen our knowledge. Really appreciate the time you invested. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chaudhary. Thank you all the students, and it's a pleasure. Whenever you want such sessions more to be conducted, please contact Mr. Chaudhary, and I would be happy to be a part of you. And I feel delighted, and at least, you know, maybe 1 hour, I also felt that, you know, I went back to my student life and I had these particular queries, what you have been asking, you know, they were there in my mind. And maybe after, you know, 30 years, I have the answers. But before, I mean, when I was a student, maybe I didn't have an answer. So it's a great learning from both of you. Wish you all the very best. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe, and take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much, sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.